Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast with your host, Mike Campion. If you are passionate about the cleaning industry, you are in the right place. Love what you hear? Spread the word and tell the cleaning world this is the place to be. Want more? Check out www.growmycleaningcompany.com for free online video trainings, free ebook downloads, free blog posts, and of course, all the podcast episodes. Everything you need to grow your cleaning company is at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to the Grow My Cleaning Company podcast, the place for everything you need to know to grow your cleaning company. If you love the show, and I know you do, be a pal and tell a friend so we can all get along, hug, and sing Kumbaya together. Today, we are chatting with Tiffany Tomasi from Penn Prime Cleaning. Good Lord, it's a good thing I don't get paid to speak. Penn Prime Cleaning services the Pittsburgh area with both commercial and residential. If you want to reach out to Tiffany and her team, you can get a hold of them at www.pennprimecleaning.com. Penn, P-E-N-N, primecleaning.com. Tiffany, say hello to Cleaning Nation.
Hi, how are you?
We are well,
this is
well,
Tiffany
and
with
well.
Penn Prime Cleaning.
What's that?
We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good over here as well. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be on the show today. This is an outstanding opportunity for us. So thank you. I'd like to say.
You are quite welcome. So excited to have you on the show. We were talking in the pre-chat, and you said that we kind of connected a little bit through LinkedIn. You had asked a question somewhere, and I had mentioned it. Is that how we kind of got connected with one another?
Yes, it is. I was a newbie in need in one of the groups on LinkedIn, and you gave me some advice that was definitely helpful and useful. And from there on, I kind of just followed you in your different, podcasts, webinars. The 5 things that you must do to have a successful cleaning company. All these little things that you're offering to the public for growing your own cleaning company, even on Facebook. You have some wonderful stuff going on, so I've been following you ever since then.
Well, awesome. That is so flattering, and I'm glad we have a chance to actually talk, and hopefully I can help give you some one-on-one personal love for growing your cleaning company. But before we do that, I'm dying to hear about Penn Prime Cleaning. So tell us a little bit how you got started, what you do, where you're at. We'll listen to all the good stuff.
Well, Penn Prime Cleaning Company started with the vision that we were going to correct all of the mistakes that we had recognized were occurring in other cleaning companies. So my partner and I sat down and we made a list of 10 things that we disliked about the cleaning industry, things that we disliked about our jobs in the cleaning industry, and we flipped those around and we made our business plan based on making those things better, because we figured we're just typical people, we're just your regular Joes. I mean, nobody likes getting paid $7.25 an hour to do hard work. So, paying our employees a competitive wage was something that was really important. Therefore, we have some hard workers out there that really represent our company in an outstanding way. We're doing commercial cleaning for several apartment communities as well as senior living communities. We do post-construction cleanup. We are training using different different areas of training, as far as videos and testing and hands-on training, and so everybody is prepared for their job. Everybody is professional attire, in a 3-button polo shirt with the name tag clear. We train in customer service, so everybody that works at Penn Prime Cleaning is friendly and approachable and well-groomed and well-trained. And I think the thing that sets us apart from almost everybody else in the industry is that management and supervisory staff is on site, on the job, all the time. You don't just meet us for a contract signing and then never see us again until next year. We're coming in and doing quality control checks, and we are, sending survey postcards and recording journal notes, and so we really try to make it a family, and interact and with our employees and our customers and clients alike. We engage all of them and really try to be a family. And we are finding huge success in our vision. And so as long as I can keep my gusto and not lose any of my spark along the way, I'm anticipating great things from Penn Prime Cleaning.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have got a ton of exciting stuff going on, and I am honored to be able to contribute to that. So that said, what's the one thing that's going on in your company that I can give you guys some coaching and help you to grow your company today?
Well, I'll let you know what, Mike. I'm a talker. I know I am, and so I want to make sure that I'm keeping it short and sweet. But basically, right now, I am the sole the sole function for every department of my cleaning company, and I think a lot of companies that are first starting out find themselves in that situation. You don't have the money to hire a bookkeeper and a human resource person and a tax person, this, that, and the other. So you end up doing it all yourself, and that's the position that I'm in right now. And so some time management, some prioritizing, some way that I can continue to do the most important aspects of my cleaning company by myself for as long as I need to, and know when it's time to delegate, to somebody else, because I'm not an expert in everything, even though sometimes I think I am. I know better. So when is it time to delegate, and how can you keep life organized and balanced until the time is right to do so?
Great question. So first of all, when you say you're doing everything, are you talking about the cleaning as well as all the administration, or just all the non-cleaning activities?
Oh, I'm doing the cleaning, I'm doing the inspections, I'm doing all the admin, I'm doing it all.
Okay.
I mean, I have other cleaners. I have 12 cleaners that work for me, but I can't keep myself off the property and being involved. Making sure that things go smoothly. I mean, this is literally our first few months into it, so I want to make sure that everybody is picking up good habits and following a detailed scope of service, which is something that makes us stand apart from other cleaning companies, is that detailed scope of service. I want to make sure that the cleaners are following that to a T, And a lot of things that happen that are unfortunate is you hire a cleaning company and they start out great, and then 6 months down the line, they're just as bad as the guys that you fired before them, because there's nobody there making sure it gets done right. So yeah, I'm doing it all.
All right, Tiffany, that is a great answer, and I appreciate that. Now, that said, so first of all, there's a couple things. If you start by doing it yourself, which a lot of people do, where you're literally doing everything from selling the job to cleaning the job to billing the job, if you start like that with no employees, no partners, no nothing, you should start building cash pretty quick. Because if you're building your cleaners out between, I don't know, 30 and $60 an hour, depending on what kind of job it is and what part of the town you're at, let's just call it 50 to be easy, and you just get 20 hours a week, well, that's $1,000 a month, and you shouldn't really have any, or $1,000 a week at 20 hours times $50 with not a lot of overhead. So you should start building cash reserves pretty quick. That said, you want to be in that space where you're doing everything, cleaning, everything, is little as possible. The big kind of overreaching concept I teach my students are, the first trick is to identify $10 an hour work, $20 an hour work, $100 an hour work, and $1,000 an hour work. And if you want to make $20,000 a year, you can do $10 an hour work. If you want to make $200,000 of work, you need to be doing $100 an hour work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just take some common things that could be done and put some price tags on them. So first of all, we can know where you're at. Like first and foremost, cleaning, depending on, again, what kind of cleaning you're doing and what part of the country you're in, that's probably $9 at the lowest and maybe $20 at the absolute highest. So just to make numbers easy, that's $10 an hour work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're doing that, if you're cleaning, there's no way, no matter how good you clean, even if you're the best cleaner that ever lived, that still could only be $10, $15, $20 at the most per hour job. It's never a $100 an hour job because it's just not that able. Now, what if you're out training cleaning or doing inspections or being on site managing cleaners? That might be a $20 an hour job. That's worth more than just cleaning, but it's still not, no matter how well you manage your people, that's not a $100 an hour job. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some other common $10 to $20 an hour jobs that you've got to identify as that's what you're doing and make sure, because again, if you're not doing the $10 an hour jobs and you're instead doing nothing, we've got a problem. But if you say, I can't afford not to do the $10 an hour jobs, but you recognize because you're doing the $10 an hour jobs, you can't possibly be doing $100 an hour jobs simultaneously, it actually costs you $90 an hour. So something like client acquisition, going on a sales call or talking to a client that said, hey, I want more information. Let's say you get an account that's $500 a month, and let's say that guy stays for 5 years, $500 a month times 60 months, that's $30,000. If it takes you 3 hours to manage that contract, you divide it by $30,000, you're making $10,000 an hour. So a lot of times people feel like, oh, I have to fix the vacuums myself. I can't pay the guy $30 an hour to come fix them for me. Or I've got to do the billing or stuff myself. I can't pay an accountant $20 an hour to do that. The problem is you're probably a crappy vacuum fixer. As you've recognized, you're probably not the best accountant out there.
Right.
So now you're not doing the $100 an hour job, and you put someone that's not really top quality into the $10 an hour job. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So the key to the whole operation is not just not doing the $10 an hour jobs. That's step one. Step two is make sure that you're doing the $100 an hour jobs. So make sure that you're not just not out cleaning, but you're in the office fooling around. You're actually talking with clients. Creating systems is a $1,000 an hour job. Casting the vision, really working through your mission and your core values and your vision. Those are owner jobs. Those are $100 to $1,000 an hour jobs. You've got to make sure those get done first and foremost. And then if there's time left over, that's when you can do the $20 an hour job, like managing employees or checking on jobs or keeping customers that are already with you happy. And then if you have time after that, which you shouldn't, then you can do the $10 an hour job of actually cleaning yourself. Does that make sense? Those kind of 3 tiers of what you should be doing?
Yes.
Okay. And the big thing to remember is if you're cleaning, who's running the business, right? Like if you were on a plane and you went to the bathroom and you saw the pilot in there cleaning the toilet, you'd be a little nervous, like, well, who the heck's flying the plane, right? Because not that cleaning that bathroom in the plane isn't important or cleaning up the trash, but who's flying the plane, right? So just keep that in mind. Every time you're out doing a $10 or $20 an hour job, no one's flying your plane. The plane of your business is running rampant, going wherever it wants because you're out, picking up trash in the hallway. Does that make sense?
Sure. Definitely does.
Okay. So the key is, and it can be, and trust me, this is a lot easier said than done. It can be really scary. And a lot of people will revert to $10 and $20 an hour jobs because they're comfortable with it. Like you might think, well, I know I can clean. I know I can do a good job. And you clean for 6 hours. And at the end, your customers say, oh, that was really good. Tiffany, you did such a good job. It looks great. Thank you. And you feel good. You're in your comfort zone. The customer's happy. You're happy. The problem is no one's running your business, and the business is never going to scream and say, hey, you're not paying attention to me and I'm going to die shortly if you don't. You have to kind of know that. Whereas if customers don't get paid attention, they will scream. So the problem is a lot of the $10 and $20 an hour jobs become urgent and on fire because people will say, hey, you're not doing this. Come pay attention. This needs help. This needs whatever. And as business owners, we get trained by that kind of activity to run from fire to fire to fire, putting out this fire and that fire and the other. And then we never get to the important but not urgent part of creating systems, client attraction systems, setting the culture and casting the vision for your company. Because if you don't do those, nobody's going to yell and scream and say, hey, you've got to do that. So just as the owner, you've got to be cognizant of if I'm not running the company, nobody is. And if I'm answering the phone, which is a $10 an hour job, nobody's doing the $100 job of running the company. And you've got to understand the difference and be disciplined enough to do the things that are uncomfortable, like setting vision and creating system. That's hard work, and it's a little scary, and people don't want to do it, so they run back to, well, I'll just clean the toilet myself, which they're comfortable doing, but then no one's running the company. On the next level, a lot of guys or gals that are really good at selling will do $100 an hour work of selling, but then they're still afraid to cast that vision. So you always just have to know as the owner, it's your responsibility to make sure someone's running the plane, someone's getting customers, someone's creating systems, and the right person's doing the right job. So I know I went really quick and we covered a ton, but does that make sense? And do you have any follow-up questions before we move on to the lightning round?
No, that definitely makes sense. And fortunately for me, I like to put my heels and a business suit on and get out there and do the work. And I like to be buried in my laptop, for 10 hours a day. I like the part of putting the systems in place and keeping my vision alive. And I want the people that are good at the $10 an hour jobs to do the $10 an hour jobs. It's just my fear, that I guess I don't have. I'm not comfortable with my training yet. I haven't purchased one of those fancy, training certified packages. I haven't been able to do that yet. So, maybe it's, my fear that I'm not communicating how efficient things need to be with the cleaners. So I'm feeling like I need to be there all the time. So I guess maybe your conversation has made me feel like maybe the next step that I need to go is to figure out my training process a little bit more in detail so that I feel more comfortable with putting those people that are good at what they do but maybe just need a little bit more guidance on how to do it. So a training module is definitely going to be something that I'm going to need to do next so that I can be where I need to be and do what I'm good at. Fortunately, that's the stuff that I'm good at. So I'd like to be where I'm supposed to be.
Okay, perfect. And the only other thing you got to kind of be careful with is that computer could be tricky because you can sit in front of it and depending on what you're working on and how you're using your brain, you can absolutely be doing systems building or vision casting or working out your core values, or you could be doing stuff that's not important. So you just got to be very careful not to not do the $10 an hour stuff and then not do the $100 an hour stuff. So just make sure that you're that you're doing the important stuff. Okay, great. That said, thank you for sharing and thank you for that feedback. Let's hit the lightning round. I'm going to ask you 3 quick questions. You're going to give 3 amazing answers. Question number 1: what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best piece of advice that I ever received is to treat your cleaning staff as if they are the product that you are selling to people. So you need to invest in making sure that they are a quality product. You can't go around like a used car salesman and claim to have these wonderful cleaners, and then have them not be wonderful cleaners. So they are your product that you are selling. So make them the best product that they possibly can be.
Well said. Question number 2. What's the biggest mistake you've ever made so far in the cleaning business?
The biggest mistake I've ever made so far is putting all of my time and effort into trying to figure out one of these bidding calculators for the first time as I was on a deadline to bid a job. So for the first time, I'm using this bidding calculator, which is a lot more difficult than it hints to be. So I end up missing a deadline because I'm so focused on using this bidding calculator and making everything perfect instead of going with my instinct and just starting from scratch and doing what I knew. Getting caught up in the hype of you have to have this bidding calculator software for every single bid. But if you're not familiar with the product or the program, practice it before you actually try to implement it to bid a job, especially when you're on a deadline.
Yeah, great feedback. The software is there to serve you, not the other way around. Okay, last question. What's one idea owners of cleaning companies can put into practice today that would most improve their lives or their businesses?
I think one idea that owners can put into practice today, it really has to go to selling yourself, and promoting yourself when you're speaking with clients, because you can't promise the cleaners, you can't promise that you're going to have the same cleaner there for 2 years and everybody's going to know their name and they're going to become their friends. You can't promise that the cleaners all the time. But what you can promise is that you or a trained supervisory or management staff is going to be there to implement quality control services on a regular basis to make sure that whoever the cleaner is doing what they're supposed to be doing when they're supposed to be doing it. So promise yourself, promise your vision, promise your plan, promise the quality control and the management, because saying we have the best cleaners in the world is not, first of all, it's not believable, and second of all, it's not a promise that you can keep, but you can keep a promise of consistent involvement in quality control and maintaining an account from top to bottom, beginning to end.
Yeah, setting expectations is such a big part of that relationship, whether you call it sales or just customer service. Setting the expectations properly can either set you up to succeed or fail. And if you do it wrong, it's very, very hard to fix that. So well said. I couldn't agree more. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing your passion and your obvious desire to grow. I appreciate you so much. And I know that Cleaning Nation appreciates you as well. If you want to check out Tiffany's show notes page, as well as discover everything you need to know to grow your cleaning company, go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Leave your questions questions, your comments, your rude remarks. I will see you there.
Congratulations! You are now 16% smarter. Still can't get enough cleaning goodness? Go to www.growmycleaningcompany.com for more of the good stuff. Ever want to be rich and famous? Owners of cleaning companies as well as industry experts can apply to be featured on the show by emailing our producer Natalie at support@growmycleaningcompany.com. Until then, don't miss out on all the latest cleaning industry lovin' at www.growmycleaningcompany.com. Check it out now.